All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll in here in a matter of moments. Judah, we're live on my Facebook page. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines, viewers and listeners. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. Do us the favor of liking and sharing the show, please. My wife just left the Wegmans grocery store, and she said it was absolutely bananas.
I believe it.
As people do scared shopping right now in Charlottesville.
I need a shovel.
I'll tell you what's bananas is the Albemarle County taxpayers who are going to open up a piece of mail in their mailbox at the end of this month, and they're going to realize that their real estate assessments have spiked. In my district, they're up nearly 10%. And across the board, ladies and gentlemen, it's a spike of 6.17% on the Albemarle County tax assessment, the third highest spike in the last 13 years. And what makes this most challenging, ladies and gentlemen, is the compound nature of the spikes. These are spikes on spikes on spikes on spikes. For instance, the increase was 8.4% in 2022, 13.46 tax assessment spike in 2023, a 4% spike in 2024, a 5% spike in 2025, and now a 6.17% spike. Compound tax assessment increase. Now, the positive of this is a good place to live. You wouldn't be seeing tax assessment spikes like this if people did not want to live here. Still, it's without question contributing to gentrification. Without question, it's contributing to gentrification. We'll talk about that on today's show. We're also going to talk about the fact that the Department of Education, the Donald Trump Department of Education, is now openly flaunting and touting and championing the agreement it signed, the contractual agreement it signed with the University of Virginia. It is no coincidence that Trump and the Department of Education are celebrating an agreement that they signed with Paul Mahoney, the interim president at UVA, a mere few days after Abigail Spanberger was inaugurated into office as the governor of Virginia. That's not a coincidence. We will talk about that on today's show. Abigail Spanberger, and Donald Trump are without question heading for a crossfire of firework-style proportions. We will let you know what's on the near horizon on the I Love CVille show today. Daniel Halpert, the owner of Coco's Adventure Factory, is on the show tomorrow to offer some insight into his project in the Seminole Square Shopping Center. Like and share the show. Judah, which headline most intrigues you today and why?
I mean, the whole Trump Spanberger thing and Trump coming out with the statement. I don't know if it's is it a throw down the glove moment?
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. That's what I want to talk about. I think it's the throw down the glove moment. Are we live on the group?
Let's see. I think I just need to push a button.
I think it's Trump basically trying to be the alpha dog because Spanberger was just sworn into office.
Yeah.
And he knows this is something that she's considering doing, so he wants to get ahead of it. It's like it's a mind game.
It's nuts if you ask me. It's like it seems almost more like chicken.
That's a great comparison. A game of chicken.
Yeah,
it's a great comparison.
What's on the line is not anything dear to either of the people playing.
I push back on that. I think Virginia is dear. She's a UVA alum. Is dear to Spanberger. Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't say dear to Trump.
Yeah.
But I would say dear to Spanberger. You disagree? Well, we'll save that. We'll save that for the show. We'll save that for the show. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. We work hard for you. That's the only thing we ask in return. Hit the like button on Facebook and share the show to a friend. Share it on your Facebook feed. Literally the only thing we ask of you. We put a lot of effort into it, and that's the only thing we ask of you. Help us spread the gospel, please. If you're watching on LinkedIn, hammer that like button. YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, the I Love CVille Network, and retweet us, guys, on Twitter if you could. Live on every social media and podcasting platform. I'm ready to rock and roll when you are, Judah.
Quiet on the set.
Welcome to the I Love CVille show, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on an afternoon in downtown Charlottesville. It's an absolute pleasure to connect with you guys on a Thursday, January 22nd, before Snowmageddon, Snowpocalypse, whatever you want to call it. My wife sent me this text message. She was at Wegmans grocery store with our 3-year-old shopping, and said the food store was absolute insanity. She calls it the food store. She's a New Yorker. And the Yankees call the grocery store the food store. And they don't call it a grocery cart, they call it a food cart. Which
Interesting.
Sometimes they call it a wagon as well. I've even heard Yankees use the term, get the wagon so we can go shopping in the food store. I said, what'd you say? Come again? My wife, the Yankee, just left the food store, our grocery store, while pushing the wagon, our grocery cart, and said Wegmans and Fifth Street Station was absolute insanity as Snowmageddon and Snowpocalypse is upon us. I got an email this morning from our HVAC provider, the fantastic team at Clyde Smith. First time I've ever seen this, and the team at Clyde Smith sent me a 30-item punch list of what to do, sent it to all their customers to protect and preserve heat pumps and HVAC units during snowpocalypse and this ice storm. Never seen that before.
Wow.
Prepare yourself, giddy up and get ready. Have some food on hand, gas in the car. I have a feeling we're going to be out of work for some time. I have a feeling the kiddos, especially the public schools next week, are going to be out of school the entire week. I think you're looking at a Monday to Friday closing next week. The private schools, maybe they return to school on a Thursday. The public schools have to be a little bit more cautious with the bus routes and a lot of these kids traveling from deep in Albemarle County. So prepare yourself. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast. Look at today's headlines. We're going to talk, and there's a reason I brought it up on yesterday's show. I had a feeling it was going to go this way. The Albemarle County Assessor presented data yesterday and pretty much brass tacks yesterday to the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. The assessor is Peter Lynch, and yesterday in a meeting with Albemarle County's supervisors, he explained that across Albemarle County, real estate tax assessments have increased by 6.17%. This is the third most costly spike, third most expensive spike, third most elevated spike in Albemarle County over the last 13 years. It also marks the 13th consecutive year that Albemarle County real estate tax assessments have increased. That is a compound number. That is a compound number. To put that in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, for the viewers and listeners, 2014, it was 1.78%. 2015, 2.64%. 2016, 1.84%. 2017, 2.9%. 2018, 2.2%. Then you saw during COVID, this is the impact of the pandemic. During COVID, 2022, the number spiked to 8.4%. 2023, 13.46%. That's people getting priced out of their homes. An 8.4% tax assessment increase, followed by a 13.46% tax assessment increase 2022 and 2023. That's gentrification. Then you saw 2024, 4%, 2025, 5%, and this year more than 6%. People are getting priced out of their homes. Albemarle County will have more money at their disposal with the budget without increasing the real estate tax rate. And remember, last year the supervisors, in shocking fashion, some would call deplorable fashion, I say flabbergasting and shocking fashion. Raise the real estate tax rate 4 cents. When you raise the tax rate at the same time that assessment's going up, you're basically
Adding the rocket fuel to the rocket?
adding the rocket fuel to the rocket. That's a great analogy from Judah Wickower off camera. The assessments they have to do because it's tied to literally the value of the home.
Yeah.
So the supervisors have no control. They are collecting more money, but then voting to increase the tax rate, that's pissing in the wind. We'll talk about that on the program today. We'll talk Abigail Spanberger and Donald Trump going toe-to-toe. Clearly, there's a brouhaha of epic proportions about to happen. Somewhere, Donald Trump is on the top rope. Abigail Spanberger is entering the ring. I'm curious of what you think Abigail Spanberger's walk-in music is. I'm curious of what you viewers and listeners think Donald Trump's walk-in music is. Trump is ahead of Spanberger right now, already in the ring. Spanberger's leaving the tunnel at the Coliseum. And as she's walking down the runway to get to the ring, Trump is trying to blindside her by doing a Diamond Dallas Page off the top rope, a Rey Mysterio, a luchadores maneuver off the rope. And he wants to DDP Spanberger as she's getting in the ring. And he's doing it by having his Department of Education taunt, brag, champion, megaphone the agreement the DOE signed with the University of Virginia in October of last year, eradicating DEI and offering the Department of Education quarterly accountability, quarterly auditing, quarterly insights into the University of Virginia. Spanberger, 2 days ago, a few days ago, literally before the General Assembly, Spanberger on the campaign trail, Spanberger, when she's being sworn in, is literally asking why the University of Virginia has signed this agreement with Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump and the DOA are on record saying, thank God we did this. It was great for America. I was smart to do this. Basically calling Spanberger's bluff here. We're going to talk about that on the show. Giddy up and get ready, Commonwealth of Virginia, because this is a Diamond Dallas Page, a Rey Mysterio off the top rope waiting to happen. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast, including Michael Payne. Now, for a second, third, fourth, fifth time, I don't know how many times the Payne-inator has done this, is going on record from the dais, this time last on Tuesday night, saying, I don't want UVA multifamily student housing in historically black neighborhoods. I don't want these real estate conglomerates to build apartment towers that lurk, that leer, that tower over historically marginalized neighborhoods. Shame on these real estate REITs, these real estate investment trusts, and these conglomerates. Shame on the Verve, and shame on the Larkin, shame on the Standard, and shame on the Flats, and shame on all these people that are building housing in these historically black neighborhoods. We must do something about it. Damn it. And then we ask Michael Payne, dude, you're a 2-term counselor. Dude, you were a part of the counseling crew, the counseling posse that got bullied by the activists to push the new zoning ordinance through. Dude, everyone saw it coming that the multifamily luxury student housing was going to pursue the most affordable, cheapest dirt possible, the pockets of the community that were historically marginalized to build their $2,000 a month bedrooms for students and their mom and dad's black Amex. We're going to talk about that on the program today. I'm fired up and ready to go. Dr. Daniel Halpert on tomorrow's show. Dr. Halpert is the owner of Coco's Adventure Factory. I spoke to him again today. I'm in regular contact with Dr. Halpert. He's going to join us on the show tomorrow at 12:30. We're going to meet beforehand. Dr. Halpert is going to be coming from a construction site. This is a medical doctor, Harvard University, Johns Hopkins University, an educated man who is a serial entrepreneur and a renaissance individual. He's the vision, the effort, the sweat equity, the money, the risk behind Coco's Adventure Factory, Seminole Square Shopping Center, old Big Lots location. He's going to be coming straight from the construction site tomorrow, maybe in construction clothing, to offer you, the viewer and listener, you, the Charlottesvillian, Albemarle County and Central Virginian, and you, the Virginian, and you, the fine and fair viewer and listener of our talk show, an insight, an update, progress report on what's going on at Coco's. Expectation for a grand opening is late March or April, so right around the corner. Judah Wickower will give some props to Conan Owen of Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. He is a business owner. He's a Darden graduate. He's a business development wizard. Conan Owen and Sir Speedy of Central Virginia will assist you in anything you need, anything at all, when it comes to having your logo and helping it gain more visibility in a print or tangible real-life capacity. Signage, direct mail, lanyards, stickers, vinyl lettering on a storefront, you name it, trifolds, pamphlets, folders, uniforms, merchandise. Dude can do it all. He's a wizard. He's very good at it. He's literally doing it for our 24 tenants, for the clients on our roster, and he is a part of this show, the water cooler of content and conversation. And I want to be really straightforward here, and I'm mentioning this extremely humbly. I mentioned this on the I Love CVille network in commentary form and written form in a comment section. What I am doing here is not journalism. I am not practicing journalism or following APA standards or doing any kind of reporting or journalism. I am offering my commentary, my analysis. I am choosing my own words. I do not report to an editor. I do not report to a publisher. I am not tied to a health system advertiser like these legacy media outlets. I am unfiltered, unafraid, unabashed, and unwilling to kowtow to anyone out there. We answer to ourselves. And I think that's why you, the viewer and listener, like the show. Judah, studio camera, please. If Trump, viewers and listeners, help us pick the song. If Trump was walking out of the locker room at the John Paul Jones Arena and there was a wrestling rink in the middle of the arena, and it was Donald Trump versus Abigail Spanberger in a heavyweight fight of epic proportions, one that was monikered and billed for weeks, if not months to come, because frankly, that's what's happened, because we all anticipated Spanberger winning this. We knew on the campaign trail she was talking about Donald Trump being out of line, out of reach. She was using those threats to drum up engagement with her campaign and push her to victory lane. If there was walkout music for Donald Trump, what would that walkout music be?
Interesting question. I mean, I think you're on the right trail with the with the wrestling imagery. It's definitely got to be brash. It's definitely got to be self-important.
I see Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble. And I see that song. What's the song by the British duo PJ and Duncan? Let's get ready to rumble, blasting on the loudspeakers at the John Paul Jones Arena. As Donald Trump walks out of the locker room, he is wearing a robe colored with the color of money. The lettering on his robe is gold. He's got a silk robe. He's got a white collar. It's popped to the top. The wind is blowing in his direction, and his comb over is going everywhere. He's got his sand-blasted skin that is somewhat in the combo of tan or Cheeto colored. He has a difficult time climbing into the ring when no one's looking. One of his buddies puts him onto the top rope because he's ready to spring and surprise Abigail Spanberger as she trots into the ring. Now, Abigail Spanberger, the Virginia governor, what's her walkout music? Michael Buffer's Let's Get Ready to Rumble just finished. Tag team back again. Spanberger's jumping into the ring right now. She doesn't realize that Donald Trump is on the top rope. And in this scenario, the metaphor is the Department of Education this week goes on record touting the success that they have had in 1 year under Donald Trump in his second term. And as part of that touting, part of that bragging, if you may, they immediately reference a deal, a contract, a negotiation, documentation signed by interim President Paul Mahoney and the University of Virginia. Trump's administration points to Charlottesville and says, look at what we've done in 1 year in our second term. We got left-leaning UVA. We got activist-leading UVA. We got woke University of Virginia to sign our agreement and to eradicate DEI. And somewhere the DOE and somewhere a green silk robing Donald Trump on the top rope, tanned or Cheetoed in color, his comb over waving in the wind as the promo fans pepper him with air, is doing this as Spanberger enters the ring.
All right, I've got Remember the Name by Fort Minor.
How does that song go?
I don't
Sing
know.
it for the viewers and listeners.
I don't know how it goes.
'Cause I certainly
got
don't
the
know it.
lyrics. You ready? Let's go. Yeah, for those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on. This is 10% luck, 20% skill.
Oh, yeah.
15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure.
Sing it, Judah.
50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Sing it, Judah.
I'm not going to sing the whole thing. I don't even know how
Whose
it goes.
walkout music is that?
That's Trump's.
Curtis Shaver, Vanessa Parkhill, Rob
And
Neal,
for,
Georgia Gilmer, welcome to the show.
For Spanberger, let's go with Alicia Keys, Girl on Fire.
Oh, the lyrics for Spanberger's walkout music, please. She's on fire. Sing it, Judah Wickhauer.
No,
Sing it.
Sing it. I am not singing that. Let's see. I'll read the lyrics after I get them.
And then we'll get to the Department of Education, ladies and gentlemen, legitimately bragging on what they've accomplished and how it ties to the University of Virginia, and an announcement and a press release and some news reporting this week. Stephanie Rhodes is watching the program. She wants to talk the rising assessments. Stephanie, we're going to get to those in a matter of moments. Albemarle County is getting even more expensive to live. And I'll tell you what, when the middle class and when the upper middle class and when the lower upper class are complaining about the assessments, pricing them out, you know you got something going on here. Yeah. Judah Wickhauer, Alicia Keys.
Oh, man. Let's see. She's just a girl, and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, lonely like a highway. I'm not going to try
Please
to
do.
outdo
Please
Alicia.
do.
No, I'm not.
Please.
She's living in a world, and it's on fire, filled with catastrophe. That sounds about right. But she knows she can fly away. Oh, she got both feet on the ground, and she's burning it down. Oh, she got her head in the clouds, and she's not backing down. This girl is on fire. That's the only part of that.
Spanberger's walkout music. You did it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly right there from Judah Wickhauer. All right, set the stage, DOE, Donald Trump, Abigail Spanberger, and what clearly looks like a brouhaha of significant proportions coming down the pipe.
Oh, I see them at the weigh-in, and they're essentially,
Please don't tell me Donald Trump is in a Speedo at the weigh-in.
Oh, I hope not.
And they're sparring nose to nose.
Yeah, they're trying to get each other back down.
The DOE press release highlights a striking that their success is attuned or akin to striking historic deals, including one with the University of Virginia that's eradicated DEI. Do you think, viewers and listeners, it's a coincidence that Donald Trump and the Department of Education this week, after Abigail Spanberger was inaugurated and sworn in, after Abigail Spanberger spoke before the General Assembly, then Donald Trump responds by championing or touting or bragging about the UVA agreement that the DOE signed?
Definitely not.
And it's not a coincidence. We all know that. Now Trump is calling Spanberger's bluff. And now it's going to be up to the first female governor in Commonwealth of Virginia history who is a UVA alum, who dominated Winsome Earl Sears in this past governor election, in part because she was going to return the University of Virginia to a state that no longer had influence by the federal government, who she said is defining what overreach looks like. Her words. Now Spanberger is left to respond. One thing you can say about Trump, and this is not about being a Democrat, this is not about being a Republican, this is just following the news cycle. He understands how to capture the moment. He can capture the moment better than maybe anyone in American history. I'm going to ask you, the viewer and listener, who's better at capturing the moment in American history than Donald Trump? Few. Maybe you say the Kardashian clan, the entire family. Who's better at capturing the moment in American history, viewers and listeners? Maybe you say, was it Rupert Murdoch? But that was behind the scenes with Fox News. That was in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Capturing the moment in front of the camera with your personal brand, your name, image, and likeness, your NIL. Who can do it better than Trump in American history? Who can do it better than Trump in global history? Sincerely, I'm asking that question. Is there anyone? Because he literally is stealing the fire, his words, Judah's walkout song words, Alicia Keys, Abigail Spanberger. That girl's not on fire, Donald Trump is saying. I'm the fire. I'm dousing her with fire. And now we'll see how Spanberger responds.
Remember the name.
Judah Wickower, anything you want to add?
About what I said earlier. I may have misrepresented a little Spanberger. She does care about what happens to Virginia.
She's a UVA alum.
But I don't think this is the kind of fight where the audience stays free and clear, unaffected. This is this is one of those fights that moves into the stands and people have to get out of the way or they get crushed. I don't see this. I see this going poorly for people in collateral damage range.
And who's in the collateral damage range?
All of us.
All of us. Jeez Louise, I think you're right.
I mean, UVA.
I think you're right. Sherry Wilcombe, what do you think? Rainey Clark, what do you think? Logan Wells Claylo, what do you think? Damian Milliner, what do you think? Philip Dow, what do you think? Curtis Shaver, Rob Neal, Vanessa Parkhill, Stephanie Wells Rhodes, what do you think? Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Put them in the feed. Barbara Becker-Tilley, Randy O'Neill, John Blair, Daily Progress, Radio, TV, what do you think? Lauren and Ivy, what do you think? I am stunned by is the word gravitas?
Gravitas?
I am stunned by the cojones. I shouldn't be, because he's got a history of it. Brashness, ego.
Oh, ego is...
Narcissism.
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours after Spanberger is sworn in, inaugurated, right after her first speech to the General Assembly, he literally gives her the one-finger salute and says, look at what I did at your alma mater, leveraging federal funds to get them to sign this and to eradicate what you campaigned for and give me quarterly access into their books. What's up? What are you going to do now? That's what the DOE just did this week, ladies and gentlemen.
What if she took Youngkin's surplus and said, screw your DEI initiative or anti-initiative.
She's going to take...
We've got the money to back...
Okay, she's going to take... I'll push back on that. She's going to take a surplus that's tied to the Commonwealth of Virginia and use the Commonwealth of Virginia surplus to float the University of Virginia through the year 2028 until Trump is out of office. If you have no ties to the University of Virginia, 8-9 million people in the Commonwealth of Virginia, wouldn't they be pissed off by that?
I'm not saying she's
just pushing back respectfully.
I'm not saying she's going to do it. I'm just, she's got to be.
That's akin to, let's use the UVA endowment.
Okay, that's fair.
Any way we want. For folks that, and Judah knows this extremely well, the $14 billion endowment the University of Virginia has? People are donating money to the University of Virginia for specific purposes. It's not a general slush fund that can be allocated any way the University of Virginia Foundation sees fit.
It's probably also doubtful that it's all liquid.
No, there's no way the University of Virginia is sitting on $14 billion in a money market savings account accruing 4.2% interest.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Very good call. It's absolutely invested.
Yeah.
And from what I've been told off the record by very important people, I cannot say who, a lot of the investments the endowment is doing off the record, I've never really covered this story, but I've heard it from a number of people that are in the finance category and sector. A lot of the endowment money is allocated to friends, air quotes, that work in finance that run and operate hedge funds. And the returns these friends are earning that own and operate hedge funds are not returns that are meeting what should be legitimate standards. That it's allocations being given friends of the foundation. That's what I've heard through the grapevine. I haven't dug deep into it. Means. Just what I've heard from the grapevine. And the expected returns are not what they should be. Just what I've heard through the grapevine. All right, if you're just tuning into the program, Trump's Department of Education issues a press release and on-the-record statement touting the agreement the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, the DOE signed with the University of Virginia, championing, bragging about it mere hours after Abigail Spanberger says before the General Assembly during her inauguration and certainly prior while on the campaign trail that she was going to return the University of Virginia to its original form when the federal government did not influence and overreach here in Charlottesville. We clearly have a Rey Mysterio, Luchadores, John Cena, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Diamond Dallas Page, The Undertaker, Macho Man Randy Savage step into a Slim Jim, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter situation going on. Any wrestlers you want to add to that? Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, man.
Somewhere my son is extremely proud of me
Jake
right now.
the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Give me that python. Step into a Slim Jim. Somewhere Curtis Shaver's laughing. Next headline, what do you got? Put the headlines on screen.
Assessments.
Gosh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Are you ready for this? And it's to be expected. This is why I brought it up on yesterday's show. On average, Albemarle County across the board, 6.17%. Albemarle County's tax assessments have jumped 6.17%. That's the third highest spike, Judah, in the last 13 years. And Judah, here's the true kick in the nuts. Are you ready for the true kick in the nuts?
Yeah.
Tax assessments in Albemarle County over the last 13 years, Judah Wickower, have increased. 13 consecutive years we had tax assessment increases. These are compound assessments.
Yeah.
An assessment increase.
Yeah.
And then the next year an assessment increase on last year's assessment increase.
If you had 100% and you get a 10% increase, the next year, whatever the increase is going off of the 110%.
We're compound assessments.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give you.
And then you add in tax rate increases.
You add the 4 cents that went up last year. And you do that all while floating debt is more expensive, groceries are more expensive, cost of goods are more expensive, gas is spiked, everything's more expensive. Okay? I'll give you the last 4 years Albemarle County tax assessment increases. In 2022, it was 8.4%. That was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
2023, 13.46%. 2024, 4.07%. 2025, 5.09%, and 2026, 6.17%. If I was just doing basic collecting, aggregating math, and this is not how it works because it's compound, over the last 5 years, 8.4, 13.46, plus 4.07, plus 5.09, plus 6.17, 37%.
Do it like this. Do 100
We're not going to do it on the talk show, but you could do it. You want to do it that way? You do it that way. Yeah, you do it that way. Absolutely do it that way.
Give me the numbers again.
You got 8.4%, 13.46%, 4.07%, 5.09%, and 6.17% this year. The Samuel Miller district, which is my district, this is Ivy, went up the most. Samuel Miller district went up 9.8%, a 10% spike in the Samuel Miller district. You had the lowest increase was the Rivanna district with a 3.6% increase. Jack Jewett, 8.3%. Scottsville district, 5.8%. Whitehall, 5.3%. Rio, 4.5%. Albemarle County, whether the supervisors do any tax rate increases of any kind, I'm talking real estate, I'm talking meals, I'm talking lodging, personal property of any kind, it's going to have a boatload more money just for the uptick of 6.17%. Now, I'm going to ask you, the viewer and listener, what does that do to Albemarle County? To help answer that question, I'm going to go to a viewer and listener that I have tremendous trust in, that I've worked alongside for 15, 16 years, who's an incredibly intelligent person. Her name is Stephanie Wells Rhodes. Do we have a photo for Stephanie that we can put on screen?
Yeah.
When she offers comments on the show, I listen. She says, it's absolutely insane what's happening. Are they trying to push us out? I'm already paying them $11,000 per year. Stephanie has earned a fantastic living through hard work, her family one of means. When families of means point out the expensive nature of what's going on around here, imagine the families that are on the poverty line. Imagine the families that are one-income households. Mm-hmm. Imagine the households that are retirees. Imagine the households that are on Social Security. Imagine the households that do not have income coming in, that are on disability.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I've got. Compounding all of that, and I'm not 100% sure I did this right, but let me know if this sounds right. If you started at $100 and added each of those increases, you would end up today paying $142.
I will trust your math is correct. I'm not able to do that math on the fly while monitoring 15 Facebook pages,
I understand.
15 Twitter accounts, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, LinkedIn,
I'm sure
Apple,
somebody will
Fountain,
chime in
talking.
and let me know if I've made a mistake.
That's right up Deep Throat, who has the ability to solve world peace, negotiate deals in Venezuela while telling us 500 digits of what pi is at the same time. Dude's a genius. Did he do the numbers right, Deep Throat? I have no doubt that you did. I'm not going to be able to do it while talking here. Jason Noble is saying, his photo on screen, that Donald Trump is asserting dominance from day one on Abigail Spanberger, as if it was the alpha German Shepherd setting the stage or the tone for the puppy German Shepherd, welcome to the family, saying, this is my house. I added some of that.
Sounds about right.
I added some of that. He said got to assert dominance, but I have a feeling Jason Noble would have gone with that as well. Johnny Ornalis, welcome to the program, the owner of Mexicali Restaurant. ¿Qué pasa, chico? Philip Dow is watching the program, the mayor of Scottsville. Spanberger ran on reducing living costs, but instead is raising taxes, especially at 3.4% on all Amazon purchases. Jason Noble says, Judah, use AI to do the math. I think it's important for everyone to realize that we're hosting a talk show. Mm-hmm. It was like yesterday. My wife texted me about our son having a rash at school and having to go pick him up. Everything's fine. He's A-okay. He had a rash. He had to be picked up from school. I was getting the text messages during the show. I'm on a show. There's thousands of people watching us. I responded to your text messages, sweetheart. I will call you soon thereafter. I appreciate the update. I love our son dearly. I might only be able to communicate in heart emojis right now. Lonnie Murray is watching the program. Lonnie Murray is offering commentary here as a civilian. He says it used to be that when there was a budget surplus that it was dedicated to water conservation. That's how many popular conservation programs were funded, since Virginia often had a budget surplus. Youngkin apparently ended that tradition, zeroing out the budget of popular conservation programs like the VCAP. I appreciate that comment from Lonnie Murray. I'm going to respond to his comment while hosting a talk show and monitoring 42 social media and podcasting channels at once. I appreciate your comment, friend. Thank you. John Blair, his photo on screen. John Blair is a gentleman. John, are you Samuel Miller District? You are Samuel Miller District. I used to live in Redfields. Redfields was Samuel Miller District, right? Yeah, I think it is. He says, I know I'm not the only viewer who lives in Redfields. So maybe someone else in the neighborhood or Oak Hill Farm has seen something different, but I honestly cannot recall the last time I saw a house on the market for more than 7 days in Redfields, in either Oak Hill Farm or my neighborhood, Redfields. The demand is still white hot in both. Therefore, these assessments don't surprise me for the Samuel Miller District. John Blair, I mentioned this live on air. Bob Yarborough, who routinely watches the program, lives in Redfields as well. Curious of your thoughts, Bob Yarborough. Regardless, here's the nitty-gritty, okay? Here's the nitty-gritty, and then we'll get to your comments. People will be gentrified out. The pandemic continues to impact us here in Charlottesville and Albemarle County. This is even more collateral damage of COVID. When some politicians wheeled and dealed and saw an opportunity to take an Asian virus and use mom scare tactics to spook Americans into being recluses, quarantine, demand with the power of the federal government that they stay in their home, then prioritize big box brands at the expense of locally owned and operated, shovel free money to the monkeys that did this, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil, and just take the money that came in the mailbox or that was directly deposited to you. That's what happened. Inflation got out of control. The small business owner couldn't survive. The small business owners that did racked up massive amounts of debt that they're still paying for now. There's a reason our business brokerage is booming right now, because those businesses that took on the debt during COVID cannot manage the debt service, so they're just trying to cut their losses and get something out of it. The stock market went out of control, and then there's this bifurcated society.
Bifurcated?
The rich got richer, while the middle class and lower
Stop being the middle class.
got tighter and smaller. The middle class got narrower. The lower class got bigger.
Yeah.
Let's scare them. Let's use mom fear to scare them. Let's let them think that it's on their feet and on the groceries and on the cereal boxes and doorknobs, and that you got to wear a cloth on your face. Cloth on your face while driving around in the car by yourself. And let's incentivize them to stay home by giving them free money. And that'll get them to vote differently. And that'll get the interest rates down. But they didn't have a DeLorean, and they didn't have a flux capacitor, and they couldn't go to Hillsdale 2026, because in Hillsdale 2026, they would have seen assessment increases in gentrification. In Hillsdale 2026, they would have seen small businesses closing. And in Hillsdale 2026, the small businesses that did survive, they would have seen massive amounts of debt. In Hillsdale 2026, they would have seen the downtown mall a shadow of its former self. In Hillsdale 2026, they would have seen, while they got what they wanted, and the immediacy, the election right during COVID, the one after was propelled to the alternative party because of how it was bungled during the pandemic. That's what they would have seen in Hillsdale 2026.
What's Hillsdale?
Charlottesville, Judah. Charlottesville. Charlottesville. Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yeah.
That's where Marty McFly and Doc Emmett Brown, they live in Hillsdale. There's future Hillsdale, with the DeLoreans flying around, and Marty and Biff fighting at the 80s cafe, and Marty stealing the sports almanac, and that sports almanac was leveraged by Biff
And hoverboards.
to
I'm
create
I'm still waiting for the hoverboards.
an alternative Hillsdale
the
that
kid
Biff
inside
controlled.
of me is still waiting for those hoverboards.
Then there was Back to the Future 3 before Hillsdale when it was a Western.
Yeah.
And Marty was walking around in his Nikes. And the cowboys are like, "What are those moccasins on your feet, son?" And then he started dancing in the saloon. Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Put them in the feed. We'll relay them live on air. Deep Throat, I'm going to get to your comment in a matter of moments. Man, I'm out of breath. Jessica Wingfield Lilly is watching the program. She says, folks that are still paying on their homes and taxes are rolled into their mortgage payments, may not even be able to afford their mortgages because it increases every year. 100% right, Jessica. 100% right. My wife and I saw that. We own a home on 4 acres in Ivy, okay? We bought it in 2024. By 2025, we are pumping a hell of a lot more into our escrow. I look at why is our mortgage payment more? Why is our escrow more? The insurance is more costly, and the tax base went up on the house.
Yeah.
You're talking a $300 a month increase on the insurance and on the escrow, on the tax base through the escrow.
Yeah, I was running those numbers that you gave me through as compounding. You end up paying almost 43% more.
Was you accurate? Were you accurate with your calculations?
Yeah.
And then you checked it through AI?
Yeah.
Look at that. Good job. Mouth wizard over there. Love you, Judah Wicker. Logan Wells Claylow. Let us know what your thoughts are. She works in real estate. Jessica Winfield Lilly. Every year I have to pay extra into my escrow. 100%. And all that does, this is in all seriousness, and it's really, it's Hill Valley. Conan Owen, thank you. Hill Valley, not Hillsdale. Hill Valley and Back to the Future. Hill Valley. Elizabeth Shue was my favorite supporting actress of all the Back to the Futures. They eventually did away with Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue in Back to the Future 1. Goodness gracious, she was a cutie pie. That was one of the first crushes I ever had with Tiffany Amber Thiessen from
She was also
Kelly
cute in,
Kapowski.
Karate Kid.
Elizabeth Shue. She's fantastic. Topanga, Boy Meets World.
Ooh, and then you got
Topanga,
Adventures in Babysitting.
Topanga. Adventures in Babysitting? Oh, my goodness gracious. How about, what was her name from Married with Children?
Christina Applegate.
Christina Applegate. Goodness gracious. I'm just like,
We're really doing this.
oh, man, I'm still a young boy at heart. Got my Kelly Kapowski poster, my Christina Applegate poster, my Topanga poster, my Elizabeth Shue poster. Pass me the Nintendo where I can play Super Mario Brothers. Give me a Game Boy so I can play some Tetris. I'd love a Game Boy to play some Tetris. Give me that Topps baseball set from 1988. I might pull a Ryan Sandberg out of there. I might get a Sid Bream or an Albert Bell. Those are some good times. Simpler times. Didn't it seem simpler?
It was.
Viewers and listeners that are watching the program, wasn't like, and this is me aging myself, wasn't a generation ago just much more simple times? I mean, it's crazy. We're making our living by monetizing social media, digital media, mobile media, right?
That doesn't mean it's a good thing.
It doesn't mean it's a good thing. There was a time where little Jennifer and little Jerry, where little Jerry would prank call little Jennifer on the phone just to hear her breathing on the other line. And finally, little Jennifer's dad gets the phone and star 69s, and Big Jerry answers the phone and says, "Why you prank calling my 12-year-old daughter?" Big Jerry says, "What the hell are you talking about?" Then he puts 2 and 2 together and screams, "Jerry, get your ass over here. Did you prank call? What are you talking about? They have star 69, son."
Oops.
Get on the phone and apologize to little Jennifer's father. "Sorry, sir. Sounds like you got your hands full, son. I accept your apology." Hangs up the phone. World War III breaks out. Next headline, what do you got, Judah Wicker? Jason Noble, I had some tops and Fleer cards tucked away too, my friend. My oldest son is now getting into tops and Fleer cards. It's wonderful. Got a lot of bonding. Barbara Becker-Tilley, watching the program. I am not stunned at all by this. 100% expected. Spanberger was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and she was primed and trained to do this. Far too many fell for this. The fallout is going to be huge, and Youngkin did not leave that much of a surplus. Your pockets are going to bleed. Barbara Becker-Tilley. Cherie Denby-Taylor is watching the program. I've never seen you interact with the program. Welcome to the family, Cherie, and thank you kindly for watching the show. Deep Throat. Oh, he's got an Elizabeth Shue comment. As for Elizabeth Shue, she came back to finish her Harvard degree when I was there. Saw her around Harvard a few times. I bet you she captivated, Deep Throat, did she captivate your attention while you were at Harvard? I believe Deep Throat enrolled at Harvard 2 years early. Does memory serve that you were 16 when you enrolled at Harvard, Deep Throat? What is 16-year-old Deep Throat doing when he sees Elizabeth Shue walking around the square, around Cambridge? Curious of what you did right there. Next headline, what do you got, Judah Wickower? I'm very thirsty.
City Council is getting ready to release a resolution on ICE presence. And for those of you who did not know, ICE has been spotted around Charlottesville now, recently.
Yeah, Carol Thorpe, if you're watching the show, she'll jump in on this. Carol Thorpe's under the impression that come February 1st, a deadline imposed by the Trump administration on Charlottesville still being recognized as a sanctuary city.
Despite calling it something different.
Yeah, rebranding the sanctuary city. That Donald Trump is going to rain holy hell on Charlottesville. He's got his eye on Charlottesville. Why is it?
Everybody does.
Does Trump have his eye on Charlottesville because of August 11th and 12th, A11 and A12, and how Joe Biden exploded?
Biden had his eye on Charlottesville as well.
Joe Biden
several times.
I think both do extremely dirty and scummy tactics, Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
Joe Biden exploited A11 and A12 throughout his campaign for presidency and never even stepped foot in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
I was so nauseated by Sleepy Joe Biden or the puppeteers that were making the arms and lips swing of Weekend at Bernie's, constantly referencing A11 and A12. I'm like, Bernie, put your shades on, go to the islands, pretend to drink your Mai Tai, and take my town out of your mouth, dude. Take my town out of your mouth. I don't think Trump's been to Charlottesville.
I doubt it.
Probably. Why would he welcome?
Stop him from making an issue.
Weekend at Bernie's constantly bringing up Charlottesville.
Yeah.
You tell the story on ICE, then I'm going to get to Lonnie Murray, William McChesney, Philip Dow comments. Literally, we have 6 different states watching the program on the I Love CVille show. Set the stage, Judah Wickower.
Mayor Juan Diego Wade read a statement on ICE during the the city council meeting. He says they will share a resolution publicly as soon as it is ready. I believe they have 3 different versions they've been presented with and are deciding between. And former Mayor Lloyd Snook had this to say: we're going to have to do some balancing. We want to be responsive to what folks are saying, and frankly, we want to be able to go on record as having very strong feelings about some of the stuff that's going on in places like Minnesota, but also recognize that we're a relatively small city in a Dillon rule state where we have very little authority to regulate some of the things folks want us to regulate.
You know what?
Essentially saying what I think we all know, which is that this is just a statement. There's nothing more to it. I doubt it's going to be spread around the United States in any kind of oh wow capacity. Everybody wants their local councilors, their local mayors, their local whatever it is that the board of supervisors to make statements about what the president, about whatever political blow up is going on, and I'm not just talking about this one, I'm talking about in general. You always hear about, oh, somebody is angry that so-and-so didn't make a statement about something completely unrelated to their city or state. And this is kind of the same thing. I appreciate that they want to express our collective disgust with what's going on in Minnesota.
Collective or selective? What word did you use?
I said collective.
Okay, collective.
I think there are enough people that are disgusted, and I think most of us would agree that the shooting of the woman was egregious.
Oh, that whole scene was gross.
Yeah.
That whole scene is going to go down as a dark day in American history. That
No doubt.
whole Minnesota murder, and I'm not making this about, she should have stopped when law enforcement told her to stop.
I think she was in the wrong place. She shouldn't have been there.
Law enforcement shouldn't have killed her.
Yeah. It was.
I understand the law enforcement officer, the LEO, had a past incident where he was dragged by a car.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
He's got
if he-
PTSD for being dragged by a car. She didn't stop. I get it. Activists, they were scared. That type of extreme of policing is going to follow that LEO officer for the rest of his life.
That's going to follow all of us.
It's going to follow America.
Yeah.
Our children, my 7-year-old, when he gets to AP US history, there will be a portion of, there's not even going to be textbooks then. There's going to be a
Be like Charlotte. What happened?
a
in
digital
Charlottesville
slide on his
and
contact
what happened
lens.
in Minnesota?
digital slide on his, he's just going to touch his temple like this. And he's going to be learning about Minnesota, this murder in Minnesota. It's gross, horrible, terrible, awful.
And now they're in
Regardless of
Charlottesville,
politics.
and you know, I just, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. It's
Let's get back to Charlottesville and ICE. Okay, I'm going to leave this, and I'll catch some grief for this. It is a terrifying proposition that $18,000 a year counselors and a $20,000 a year mayor are negotiating, conversating, strategizing, planning, anything about macro politics,
yeah,
border enforcement, and the reach or overreach tactics used of federal law enforcement officers.
yeah.
Please, dear God, just eat your bacon, egg, and cheese bagel from Bodo's and drink your Bagby's coffee
And get me one.
and stop talking about law enforcement, border patrol, and federal government nuance. That's not why you're there. I'll catch heat for that. My take. It's not journalism, it's commentary.
I don't necessarily disagree.
This comes via direct message, not from Deep Throat. This is from somebody else who's asking for anonymity. My tax payment in Albemarle County will have increased 42% over the past 24 months if my assessment only went up 6% average this cycle. To add to Stephanie Wells Rhodes' comment, when people like me are looking in my pocket trying to figure out how to pay my taxes, welcome to CVille and Manhattan.
Mini Vale? Oh,
Vale
you're
or
saying this
Manhattan.
is, yeah.
I like, this is my favorite comparison is it's vulgar. It's vulgar, and I kind of like it because I'm still somewhat immature at heart. Charlottesville is the menage a trois baby of Vail, Colorado, Austin, Texas, and Greenwich, Connecticut, with Southampton, New York, lurking and creeping in the corner watching them. That's what Charlottesville, Virginia is. The menage a trois offspring of Vail, Austin, and Greenwich rendezvousing with Southampton, New York, lurking and leering in the
Southampton,
corner.
New York, sitting in the cuck chair.
I wasn't going to use that word. That word is so gross. Yeah, that word gives me the creeps, dude.
It's horrible.
It's a creepy word. It's like right there with the underwear that starts with P that women wear. That's another creepy word. The M word that is a synonym for wet. That's another creepy word. Please, just get the creeps on that. That's why I was lurking and leering in the corner. But the anonymous commenter is right. And this anonymous commenter, I'm not going to say who it is, but is a man of tremendous means and is C-suite by title. Seriously. Yes, Jason Noble, that word. That's the word. Thank you. Tom Powell, the founder of Toy Lift, says, I agree with you, Jerry. Amen, brother. William McChesney says, we're in the capital of the resistance. Charlottesville. Deep Throat says, when I attended Harvard, I was so young that Elizabeth Shue was not an object of lust because I was more in need of a babysitter at the time. That's how youthful he was.
Adventures in babysitting.
This one comes in. I don't know how many people continue to make such a big deal about ICE presence in Charlottesville when the feds just indicted 2 illegals who abducted and sexually abused a teenage girl. How can they stand up and say they don't want these people out of the community? That's from an anonymous viewer and listener.
Yeah.
Diane Garrison says, I know how Stephanie feels. The struggle is real. Janice Boyce Trevelyan says, but raiding a church on a Sunday morning is downright awful.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, what a mess. Let's give some love to our friends at Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company. Online at charlottesvilleswimmingpoolcompany.com. It's the sister business to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. At Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, if you have a swimming pool and you want to optimize it with decking, hardscaping, with a pool pump, with water clarity and cleanliness,
New cover,
new liner, anything, the consultants and concierges of Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company are who you call. They have 62 years of swimming pool experience. They know all the best vendors to use, all the price points it should be used, all the permitting, all the planning. Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, charlottesvilleswimmingpoolcompany.com, the sister business to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. It's got a fantastic website, charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. You can order today and you may get your sanitary stuff in before Snowmageddon hits. Free delivery in market at Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. Judah Wickhauer, I got a comment from Lonnie Murray. It's important to note here that assessments are done independently and aren't political. Right. There's also a process to help you appeal your assessment if you feel it's unfair. My suspicion is that people from outside the county buying up homes that is driving up assessments. It only takes one retiree from Nova to outbid everyone on a home purchase to blow up prices in a neighborhood. Yep. 100%. That's why when we purchased our home in Ivy and we exited from Glenmore and Keswick, when we purchased in Glenmore and Keswick, it was March of 2020. Maybe the best time in American history to purchase a home. Maybe the only other time that's best to purchase a home in American history is coming out of the Great Depression. We purchased in March of 2020 when we had to wear a hazmat suit to tour a house. And we bought a house that had been on the market for 2 years that was openly in its MLS listing promoting that you could buy this if you want through seller finance, just take it from us. And then I lowballed the offer and we got it. And then we lived there for less than 4 years, 3 years and change, and the home basically 2x'd. It 2x'd. So when we went and moved in Ivy, we had dry powder and then some. And when we bought our house in Ivy with dry powder and then some and paid a good price in a coveted neighborhood at a time where people wanted to live here because of the schools, there's no secret the Samuel Miller District had the biggest uptick of any district in Albemarle County. It's got the best school. Elementary, Meriwether Lewis. That's a bad word. Ivy Elementary. Henley, Western Albemarle. That's why it's the schools driving it, along with the geographical location, the proximity to UVA and to the epicenter of employment. When we purchased in our neighborhood, there were some neighbors that were giving us the one-finger salute for buying at that price. And I'm like, what did you want me to do? There was multiple people trying to buy the house and I wanted it. Tom Powell, founder of Toy Lift. On another note, I just spoke with my brother in Wisconsin, and he said the wind chill was 50 degrees below zero. He was asking if I was ready for what's to come. Are you ready, Jerry? One of the best aspects of this home we purchased is a whole house generator. It is a beast that literally runs a 5,000 square foot crib. 5 beds, 4.5. Thank goodness for that. My wife was at Wegmans buying up all the perishables. She says it's insanity over there. Deep Throat says, I don't think Charlottesville City will see a bigger increase in assessments. My repeat sales indices, I have a couple of different techniques, are between down 3% and up 2%. I've talked to many, Deep Throat says, we have a generator too, but we're flying to California tomorrow. Deep Throat, to be you. Oh. To be no, not to be Deep Throat, but to be the prince of Deep Throat. The two princes of Deep Throat is who you want to be. Deep Throat, you're living the good life. The princes are living a really good life, Deep Throat. A really good life for the princes. That's because of your hard work, though, so I salute you. I salute you. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to be successful. Comparison is the thief of joy. I want everyone to be successful. Charlottesville City, the realtors I talk to that specialize in the city say, at best, we can expect flat. That values are facing, of course, values are facing headwinds. We got Mo. What's Tony, Mo, and Larry? What are the Curly, Mo, and Larry running the city over there?
You talking about the Pep Shop Boys?
What about the Stooges?
Pep Boys. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you remember Pep Boys.
I remember Pep Boys. Pep Boys. Pep Boys. Why do we still not have a 50-year downtown mall celebration? Why is there no plans announced for the 50-year anniversary of the downtown mall?
Well, Friends of Downtown is at least prepping for it. They've been sending out
a survey?
Yeah, surveys.
I love the Friends of Downtown Mall. We saw Greer this morning. Mm-hmm. Love Greer.
Yeah.
Love Friends of Downtown Charlottesville. Can we just actionize the anniversary? There's 12 months in the year. After this snowstorm, the snowpocalypse that shuts everything down for a week, we have 11. Philip Dow says, luckily I have a whole house Generac generator as well.
Ooh, must be nice.
You don't lose power where you are at.
Not normally, but this doesn't sound like a normal situation. I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah. This is definitely not a normal situation. This is one of those generational snowstorms.
Fortunately, I am in a townhouse, so my house leaks less cold air.
You preserve heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To some degree. That doesn't mean it wouldn't get pretty cold.
Next headline, Michael Payne. Oh, this is a sensitive headline. Michael Payne is now using his platform on the dais as a city councilor of Charlottesville to say, you read the article from Sean Tubbs, right?
Not the whole thing, but they're essentially saying, okay, I know we put out this new zoning ordinance, but we don't want you to build stuff.
Yeah. Dude, you look like a numbnuts. Does he not? Okay, you are the unemotional.
I'll say it a little more.
You are the unemotional, even-keeled
politics.
metronome of consistency. What does that look like to you? Say it again, what Michael Payne is saying.
He's saying...
And he was a part of all of this when they put the new zoning ordinance out, Judah.
Essentially saying that if you start building on Cherry Avenue and in Fifeville, you're going to change the character of the neighborhoods. You're going to displace people and cause economic harm to these core neighborhoods. Payne said that the development code has made student housing the highest and best use of property in Fifeville and said that wealthier people living there will lead to displacement. But come on, you wrote the development code and you're surprised that it's making homes in low-income areas the highest and best use?
Literally.
I mean, why would the cheapest properties not be the first ones to be poached?
I spent effing years talking about this on the I Love CVille network. I said, this is what we do. We work in real estate. You're going to make the cheapest dirt the most important priority, and all you're going to do is target development in marginalized and historically black neighborhoods, black and brown.
Because why would someone spend? Why
No
would someone
one
buy the most
is going
expensive
to buy
stuff
a $2 million 1-acre mansion
and
in
tear
the
it
Blue
down?
Ridge neighborhood or the Rugby neighborhood or in North Downtown and tear it down and build multifamily.
Yeah.
They're going to aggregate or assemble a bunch of $250,000 houses that are next to each other and build an apartment tower where they can charge $2,000 a room. John Blair told them that. Deep Throat told them that. I screamed it. We told him that. And now Michael Payne's like, oh, well, you know, we can't do that here. Despite him setting the rules. Mm-hmm. He made new rules for the game.
Yeah.
He made new rules for the game. And the new rules for the game that he made does not fit his talent or his skill set or how he wants the game to be played. And now he wants to change the rules on the game again. Mm. Why would you ever do business in this town from a development standpoint? When they can just change it like this.
Unless you found a way to maximize your profit, which is what they're doing with, with student high rises. It's honestly, it's insulting. It's insulting. It's insulting, really. Because you're either hoping we have short memories or you're hoping we're quick to forgive or you're hoping we continue to think that you're the smartest person in the room and that we should just kowtow to what you say. But either way, what you're doing is treating us with disrespect and marginalizing us. I understand the idea of, making incremental changes to fix issue. You try something, come on, we do it here. We try something, it doesn't always work out. We make changes or we let it go. But the but to this is that they went balls to the wall. They didn't just make a small change and see how that affected things. They made a big change.
Can I respectfully push back on that?
Yeah.
Okay. The analogy you made is a good analogy about throwing something, the spaghetti against the wall here and seeing if the spaghetti is al dente and it sticks, or if it's runny and it just crawls and falls to the floor. The difference is we are basically a venture studio. We're a small business.
Right. I know.
We are supposed to try things to see if they work as a venture studio, as a small business. That's the effing playbook for development and housing in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's not a piece of paper written in pencil. It's the Bible of building. Mm-hmm. It's the Bible. What are some other akin to the Bible? The Torah? The Quran?
Maybe. I'm not sure what you're getting at. But
it's the Bible of building. You don't write the Bible of building in pencil and then erase it with your number 2 eraser. And that's what Juan Wayne and Michael Payne are saying. We knew this is a work in progress, is a living, breathing document. These builders are taking notes, debt service out to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars at interest rates that float, that aren't fixed over 30, but are float and tied to prime. And to change the playbook, the Bible of building, when developers have floating debt and expectations and deadlines and guidelines, is the definition of malpractice. It's the definition of governmental malpractice. And all you're doing is spooking away the people that will do the projects you're trying to incentivize.
Yeah.
It is so obvious. It's so obvious. It's almost like All right. A couple things I need to get off my radar. And they're watching the show right now. I see them watching the show. The University of Virginia men's basketball game against North Carolina, this was just announced. Tip-off has been moved up to 12 p.m. from 2 p.m. And the Tony Bennett court dedication has been postponed until the 21st of February against the Miami Hurricanes. So UVA men's basketball North Carolina game is tip-off Saturday is now noon instead of 2 because of the snowpocalypse. Tomorrow, Dr. Daniel Halpert, Seminole Square Shopping Center, Big Lots, converting Big Lots to Coco's Adventure Factory. This guy has so much skin in the game and so much cojones and so much on the line, Daniel Halpert. And he's going to explain the risk he is taking. He's a Harvard-educated, Johns Hopkins educated doctor who is a Renaissance serial entrepreneur who also owns a construction crew that is now getting into the indoor adventure entertainment business. He's on the show tomorrow. We'll show some photos. We're going to work alongside his business to help him gain share. Don't miss the interview, 12:30 on the I Love CVille show, with what the metrics back this up, ladies and gentlemen. Across all platforms in the region, there's no brand that is reaching more people than I Love CVille. It's UVA number 1. It's I Love CVille number 2. Unfiltered, unafraid, unaffiliated, unabashed. Judah Wickower and Jerry Miller.